Yo, guys, welcome back to the FanStands. Ahmed, I can see you're very excited, and sorry again. We were having some technical glitches, and so we're back. I can't rhyme it. Can't rhyme it with glitches. So, Ahmed, great to see you back.
Definitely, Mohsin. Like I said, I think the last we haven't done a video for a while, and football has restarted already. We have 3 match days in Premier League and 2 match days in other leagues. So definitely a lot to talk about, and also we have quite some good transfers as well, which Mohsin I would like to discuss with you and our friends today.
Definitely, a lot of transfer. This window has been crazy, and we'll make a separate video on the transfers which has happened so far. So let the window close. Let's see what happens, and we promise you we're going to come up with a few videos, especially in the coming international break. So Ahmed, let's start with the Premier League, and I'll be straight up to the point. Am I correct? 2 points lost for Liverpool and a point gained for Chelsea.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was I think very anticipated match, especially for I think in the Premier League because I think nobody were too excited for Arsenal versus Manchester City, and you expected a result. But for Liverpool Chelsea, I think like I said last week, they were both they started good. They won both of their matches, and this week they were head to head together. I think, like I said, Liverpool started really good. They were playing at Anfield. I think the surprise inclusion of Harvey Elliott was a bit surprise for me because, like I said, he played a well match last week against Burnley. But still, I think Kaita would have been a much better choice. But he played well for me. In first 15 minutes, I think Liverpool really dominated, but I think Chelsea were dominating back as well. It was a game of two and flow for from both good teams. Like this was the kind of a game you were excited. All the Premier League were excited. Anfield was excited for, and like I said, it was a battle between Lukaku and Virgil van Dijk. The hype was there before the match, and I think he had a couple of chances to put Liverpool through, but like I said, Matip and Van Dijk were too good for Lukaku to do everything. But the goal came through Kai Havertz through I think before the halftime, around 40 minutes, and it was a very good looping header, which I think Ellison and couldn't stop. It was a brilliant header by Kai Havertz, and I think it really gives shift the momentum towards Chelsea because after that goal, Chelsea were much more dominant. They were pushing forward. I think they were pressing. They were counter attacking more. But it all changed when I think before the halftime, almost around 44, 45 minutes, I think when a corner was given to Liverpool, and all of them were just pushing for the goal. Mane especially, and Reece James just I think the ball came ricocheted from his thigh to his arm, and and it was given a penalty. But I think after a VAR decision, and especially I think Anthony Taylor, who I think Chelsea fan hate him because he hasn't given a good decision to them in quite some while. Just went to the VRA and said that it was a red card. But for me, I think Mohsin, it was a penalty and not a red card. I should have taken a yellow, but a red card, and I think all the Chelsea players were protesting. Reece James was also surprised. I think most of the Liverpool players were also surprised that it shouldn't be a red, it should have been a yellow, but the penalty was there. So yeah, I think Salah scored from the penalty spot and gave Liverpool something to work from in the second half. So second half came, and I think Kante came out because I think he had some kind of injury, and I think Kovacic and Thiago Silva came in instead of I think Mount. So definitely, I think so. But the next 45 minutes was just mostly a brilliant defensive performance by Chelsea. They just didn't allow Liverpool to have a good fight on goal. Liverpool was pushing for the goal. They were shooting from outside. They were shooting from inside the box. Mane, Salah, even Fabinho was trying. Where Virgil van Dijk tried. They did everything to break the Chelsea defense, but they just couldn't do anything. It was one of the brilliant defensive masterclass I have seen from quite a while. The last time I've seen it, it was from Atletico Madrid. But Thomas Tuchel, my God, he really grilled his team in the defensive shape, and it was definitely for me. I think Liverpool 10 men down, 10, the advantage of having 11 men. They should have really won this game because, like I said, Chelsea are the contenders for me for the Premier League title, and you don't get the chance of beating them quite easily because if they were 11 by 11, I would have thought maybe Chelsea would have nicked something from this game. But I think a brilliant defensive performance by Chelsea, and they should be proud of it.
Wow, absolutely great. And Ahmed, one last question, because the upcoming matches will review in the next video because we have an international break and we need to cover other topics. Liverpool, any transfer news because Chelsea has invested well. What about Liverpool?
No, I think there's no transfer news coming, but I think one more bad news is coming that there, I think Michael
Sporting
Edwards is
director.
sporting director. Michael Edwards is stepping down. He has been responsible for very good signings. He had couple of bunch of bad signings, but for me, when the Klopp came in Liverpool, he have done very good shoot signings for them. He was kind of a sporting director Klopp needed to find a good hidden players, and he really helped him out. So I think Liverpool really will miss him because he has been after I think Monchi and Marina. I think I really rate him quite a bit.
Okay. So Ahmed, moving on, and this was the very first game of the weekend, and City loves playing against Arsenal, and in fact, everyone is wanting to play Arsenal now.
Definitely, I think Arsenal is really shambolic, Mohsin. But I can say that, and the irony is that this season they had just been in a contract with Amazon to produce a documentary All and Nothing. I guess it's gonna be nothing for them for now because 3 games, no points, no score, and they consider 9 goals. My God, Mohsin, like I said, if you saw the formation or saw the lineup, you can see that it's gonna be a disaster class because Kolasinac as a center back, Rob Holding, Cedric as a right back. I think these are the players who shouldn't be playing in the Arsenal if they want to do something. And definitely, like I said, goal they considered, especially Gundogan, first goal when Gundogan had I think Chambers were nowhere to defend that goal, especially the second goal, Mohsin, the through ball, and that through ball came from 5 Arsenal players, 3 to 4 Arsenal players, and no one touched it, and it was an easy goal by Gabriel Jesus. And then I think that Shaka red card. It was like I
Till
said,
the
it
game.
was a it killed the game. It was a cherry on top of a cake, disaster cake on the top of a cherry, and definitely like after that, I think it's just misery for Arsenal, and I really thought that they might go in the double figure, but Leno had a couple of good saves, and yeah, they only had one shot on target, and at one point they only had 19% possession. So, like I said, I don't know what's wrong with Arsenal. I think it's either Ateta or either the player they have are not good enough to play because like I said, they had a couple of players not available to them, but still, I think they should do something that they can produce something. I think Arsenal fans know that they're gonna lose this match, but they were looking for some kind of a performance because they have defeated Manchester City last year when in the semi-finals of Carabao Cup or in FA Cup, but like I said, this time they seem toothless, and I really feel bad for Arsenal fans because they have to see this kind of a performance, and they are now dead last at -9 points. And Arteta job is in trouble because, like I said, if he doesn't win Norwich and Burnley matches, I think he's gonna be sacked because I think not before. I think he will be sacked if he didn't have any point before the North London derby, and that's an important match for if you are an Arsenal fan. But like I said, for now, it's a really, really bad time to be an Arsenal fan.
Well, this is a recurring topic since the last 1 year, so I don't know what can we add to this. There are rumors that Conte will come as a manager, but Ahmed, you're an Inter fan. You know Conte very well since his Juventus days, since you follow SerieA. Is Conte the right man? I would openly say no because I don't think even he can manage a team like Arsenal. But I may be wrong.
Well, look, for me, for this Arsenal team, I think Conte is the right man because he knows how to build up a good team. But the problem is that he needs specific type of players. If he doesn't get that demand of players, good talent in his squad, he might leave. The reason why he left Inter because Inter wouldn't just give him the players he needed to, I think, challenge for Scudetto and Champions League. That's why he left, and there were other kind of problems as well. Maybe if Arsenal lose couple of matches with Conte, maybe the media might turn on him as well, and he might even turn on the players as well. Even I know Conte is a good match, but the problem is he won't come unless he's guarantee. I think Pacific type of players or the
Transfers. Okay.
type of transfer he needs. So definitely, I think he's the right man, but it's difficult for him for Conte to come in this sinking ship right now.
Okay, well, Ahmed, you asked me this question over the weekend. Uh, you have to answer it on your own. Nuno Santos doing really great with Spurs. Wolves are not doing so well. On the other hand, we'll come to that. But I think Spurs are the only team 3 out of 3 wins so far.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a good start by Nuno because I was very skeptical of his signing. Uh, and I think for me, he wasn't ready to be a Spurs manager because there were quite some other managers they were looking for, but there were no managers, like I said, looking for this job. But Nuno, I think, fit like a glove to our Spurs. I think he changed his formation. He used to play with a three at the back when he was at Wolves, but now he's playing his 3-3-4. I think he recognized the talent he have right now, and all of them are playing really well. I think even Eric Dyer, who at one stage was looking to go out, who wasn't performing well, and there were rumors that he might move on. Even he had performances, and I think they had made a couple of good signings, two players from Atalanta. I think, Cristiano Romero and Golini. So, yeah, Tendanga, I think Dorothy isn't preferred. Tendanga, he placed Tendanga there. And he had been a good, like, he had a match winning performance against City. So I think Nuno's know how to play counter attacking football really well. And like I said, our Spurs are really good counter-attacking football. Also, I think the main elephant in the room is that they kept Harry Kane. There were rumors that he might leave for 160 million, but I think Daniel Levy they wouldn't let him go because I think what kind of businessman Daniel Levy is, you also know, Mohsen, because he wouldn't let go Bale, Modric too easily. So now once again he has a prized possession in his name, which is Harry Kane. He wouldn't let him go unless they would give him around 180 million or something like that. Harry Kane was really keen of moving, but I think he just shut down all the transfers of him to City by saying that I will continue my career in an Spur. And I think he played really well. But I think the star match for the couple of weeks is Heung-min Son. I think his free kick goal was really brilliant. And for me, I think he's the man that Spurs should be looking to like keep healthy, and Son and Kane, the like I said, their combination is really good for Spurs. And I think even Bergwijn, he's playing well. He has been, and Lucas Moura and all of them I think contributed really well. And I'm really surprised by Nuno Santos and Spurs. And let's see, is this just a new manager syndrome, like I said, or maybe Spurs are there to challenge something this season?
Well, would be amazing if they actually make it to the top four because a lot of people are not were not rank considering them for the top four, especially with Harry Kane leaving, but he's staying and Let's see what happens. So, Emma, talking about Manchester United now against Wolves. There was no Ronaldo. He's passed his medical, I've heard, and he will probably play after the international break. But Greenwood turned up. Not the best of display from Manchester United, but job done, 3 points in the bag.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is what you call a scrappy win by Manchester United, and they definitely win this because, like I said, they didn't started well because Traore and Trincao really played well in this match. I think Traore just bullied Fred a couple of times. He had couple of chances of putting Wolves in the lead, but the end product wasn't good either by Traore or Trincao. So I think United didn't have couple of chances. They didn't have too many chances, but they took their chances. Two of them fell in. I think with Greenwood, I think one chance he missed, and in the second chance he got, he scored. But I think there was a kind of a controversy that before his goal, I think Paul Pogba kicked Ruben Neves. There was a challenge, squared up challenge by him, but I think the VAR cleared because I think Paul Pogba reached the ball first. After then he went for the shin. But like I said, it was a not a bad performance by Manchester United, but not a good one as well. And definitely, I think they are missing something really attacking thread. Maybe name Cristiano Ronaldo, or maybe he is what they need right now. And they definitely need a central defensive midfielder because Fred for me isn't good enough for them. They have a really good performance by De Gea. Also, he also kept them in a match. Varane also was debut match for Varane in Manchester United, and he played also well. And a couple of good chances. I think Van Bissaka and Harry Maguire. The defending was really good by Manchester United. But like I said, all 3 points, Manchester United fans are really happy. And next time, Manchester United will have new player, a returning player by the name of Cristiano Ronaldo, who would really
Well,
give them an edge.
it's an opportunity for a lot of fans who have not seen him in the Premier League. They've heard about it, but young fans. He's
Yeah,
not the same Ronaldo like he used to be, but still the hype. And even as a non-Manchester United fans, we both are really excited to see him. So we can see Saad is really happy, and obviously
definitely.
I can imagine. I can imagine. So I'm a bit of rumors here. I'm not sure if I'm getting this correctly. Emerson to Spurs, is this the Chelsea one or someone
Yeah,
else?
no. This is the Barcelona one. The
Uh,
Barcelona really signed him from Real Betis. I think they activated his buyout clause, but I think they are getting really good deal. I think around 8 to 15 million. So I think Barcelona, they are in a financial trouble right now. So they are just selling every player. They also Moriba. They are also selling Moriba to Leipzig. So I think with these two players selling, they might get around 20 to 25 million or around 30 million. So definitely.
Another good transfer, Tagliafico to West Ham, who was linked to Chelsea before Ben Chilwell from Ajax.
Yeah,
Very good deal.
yeah, yeah, definitely a very much more. I think I preferred him than Aaron Cresswell, even though Aaron Cresswell is for fantasy league he has been good, but Tagliafico will be a good signing. They are just rumors right now because I haven't heard anything concrete about it, but it's gonna be a good signing because they really need someone on the left side. And Tagliafico, like I said, he really had a good Copa America as well, and he has been a established starter for Ajax. So if West Ham make this signing, it's going to be a really good one as well.
Okay, well, interesting fact. He left when Saad was only 14 when Ronaldo left. So
Heartbreak
Chima wants
everywhere.
Ronaldo to eat West Ham. Ahmed, important question. Ahmed, important question. For fantasy players, should you draft Ronaldo?
Definitely, I think most of the Manchester United will draft it. I think
No,
most of the
not only United fans. I think a lot of other people will also draft him. I know a Real Madrid fan who plays FPL. He's drafting Ronaldo.
Well, good for him as well. I think there's some kind of affiliation there as well. I think more than 50% people will draft him. But all depends on the price, at what price he will be available. If he's not available, if he's available on a very reasonable price, then I think most of the people will go for
Well,
him.
every time you hear a crazy transfer rumor, and this must be the most craziest I've heard. Fred to Man City. If you're talking about the United Fred, then I'd be surprised if
Yeah,
Guardiola.
not in a million years. They already have Gundogan,
Should I
Rodri,
play wild card? Well, I
on
have to see
Cristiano,
what team.
on the Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wild card, I
No,
mean unlimited transfers. I think no, not now. It's too early. The first initial 5 to 6 games are very up and down. So we still don't know who's going to play how. Let the players settle in. Let the consistency come in, especially after the international break. Let's see
yeah,
about the injury news as well. Should Liverpool sign someone? They only signed Konate and haven't replaced Genie. They need to
yeah,
sign two
definitely,
players. That is
yeah,
what I say.
definitely.
A number 10 creative midfielder and an attacking striker.
Definitely, I think even the kind of player there, I think Shaqiri left, Harry Wilson left. They only have Minamino and Origi left as attacking players. So definitely they need a striker or a winger, and like I said, a creative midfielder, just like someone like Rodrigo De Paul who can provide them something from the midfield. Because as you can see in this Liverpool against Chelsea, if the front three doesn't are not working, you need someone from the midfield to provide them goal. Just like Gundogan did against Arsenal, they need someone who can provide them goal. And I think there is a reason why Klopp bring Elliot in, because he thought that his performance in the Blackburn Rovers can provide them something like as a number 10 or as a winger. He had a good game, but I think he's a bit too young. They need something really established, and I think in 2 days, let's see what can happen for them.
Ahmed, none of us are United fans, but I'd be happy. I'd still take this.
Definitely,
I'd
definitely,
take this.
United fans are really happy because I think the Glazer did a really brilliant move by bringing in Cristiano Ronaldo. I think this really calms down some of the voices that they were protesting against Glazers, but like I said, the problems are still there. Glazers, like I said, their recruitment have been really shambolic in the past, but this season, this transfer window, I think this I will have to give 10 out of 10 for them because they address all the problems they had. I think they had the problem in the wingers, they addressed that. They have a problem in defense, they addressed that. They also brought in Cristiano Ronaldo, who, like I said, that can address their striker problem as well. One more,
and
I
and
think
and,
there's a
and help in the commercial value. The brand
and
has
commercial.
risen by 8%. Stocks have raised.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think whoever Cristiano or Messi signs, do you know that they are the kind of player that will manipulate the market in the benefits. So definitely a
Ahmed,
good.
my question. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Bigger transfer: Messi to PSG or Ronaldo to United?
Oh, ho, ho. Oh, that's a really difficult one for
I,
me.
you
But
know, viewers, I love for you to answer this in the comment section as well. What was the bigger transfer, Messi or
le-
Ronaldo?
look, my logic is that you know that Cristiano Ronaldo, after 2 or 3 years in Juventus, would have moved to somewhere else. Maybe I think he have gone to MLS, or maybe have gone to Real, or maybe he have would have gone somewhere else. But Messi, we didn't expected that because, like I said, Laporta was very sure that he will sign him. Even Messi took 50% pay cut and everything. So he was doing everything, Laporta and Messi, to keep him in the Barcelona, but the financial problem was too much that they just couldn't sign him, and because of that, he have to went away. But for me, still the Messi situation, I will say, is a bigger transfer because he didn't wanted to move, but because of the problems of the club, he had to move. With Ronaldo, I know that
Okay.
after one or 2 years he would have moved away from Juventus. So, but we didn't know which club he would have moved, but he would have definitely moved. So for me, Messi
Okay.
one is still a bigger one. No offense to
Okay.
Cristiano
So
fans.
okay. So moving on, Ahmed. Quickly, we'll talk about La Liga Roundup. So what has been taking place in La Liga? I am aware that Memphis Depay is doing really well for Barcelona.
Yeah, yes, I think Barcelona had a match with Getafe, and like I said, it was a good match, but defensively, like I said, the Achilles heel of Barcelona has been defensively, they're not good. Memphis Depay was really good for them. He scored the second goal for them in the second half. He's performing really well for them. I think after the absence of Messi, I think only Depay has been picking up the slack for him. Griezmann is also like in the 2 3 matches he has been really quiet. He hasn't been performing after the first game week. So it's after maybe we can see some more performances from him after the international week. So so far so good for Barcelona. They won their match 2-1. I think they would take this win here an average of 7. And as for I think at Real Madrid, they also had a really difficult match against Real Betis, who really pushed them to the edge. But I think it was the goal from Carvajal who really just gave them the win. And I think Vinicius Junior started instead of Hazard, and he really played well. I think in the first half we could see him dribbling past couple of defenders and linking up with Benzema quite well. So even though I think there were quite some injuries and old players, but I think Carlo Ancelotti really is putting something together with this team. They also had a debutant Miguel Gutierrez as a left back, and he also played really well for a debutant. So, like I said, Real Madrid they are also they won their match, and I think the Real Madrid fans should be happy. And they are, I think, second. Uh, I think they won. They are, I think all three of the Atletico Madrid. I think if you've watched the match of Atletico Madrid, Mohsin, they played really well. They started well, but I think Villarreal really pushed them. I think in in the second half, the Villarreal scored, and after that, Angel Correa, Luis Suarez gave them an equalizer. Then in 90 minutes, their new signing Danjuba scored in the 91st in the 89 minute, and in 95th minute they conceded an own goal. Like it was the header came from Mandi, and and Gully just couldn't stop it, and it went in the goal, and it was an equalizer. You should definitely watch it. It was, I think,
I'll
really
watch it,
bizarre.
but I am aware Villarreal 3 games, 3 draws. They've only scored 2 goals, and they've had 2 nil-nil games, the two
Yeah,
opening games,
definitely.
and the third one they managed to score two, but they conceded. So Emery again, I've had a debate with Shahzad. I'll have him and Saad on the show soon. Uh, I don't expect too much from Villarreal. I think Emery may struggle in the Champions League. It's a big call, but we'll discuss it when we have the Champions League show. So
Yeah, definitely.
Suarez, I mean, he's doing well. I think people underestimated Suarez.
Yeah, definitely. Suarez and I think Angel Correa, both of them are performing really well. Even I think Thomas Lamar really had a good game. I think Simeone is really testing with a new system of playing three at the back. Sometimes it's working, sometimes it's don't. I think maybe we can see him going four at the back really soon because this new system might not suit him for very long.
Okay. So Ahmed, now moving on, like to talk about your league because surprise, Juventus lost to Empoli right after Ronaldo left.
Yeah, I think
Sorry, Ahmed. Before I talk about La Liga or Serie A, how can I forget this?
Mbappe, well, there's quite some transfer fight going on between PSG and Real Madrid. But the rumors are coming right now, Mohsen, is that Real Madrid have submitted 200 million transfer fees for Kylian Mbappe. They want him right now in this season. They can't wait 6 months to sign him on free. And I think they are just testing water from PSG. And like I said, Leonardo, their sporting director, has said that we will like to discuss with Barcelona, but on our own terms, the transfer of Kylian Mbappe. But I think
Not Barcelona, Real
Perez,
Madrid.
oh sorry, Real Madrid. Apologies. So there's a back and forth going on. I think Perez is just testing the waters with Leonardo and PSG. He was just showing that you shouldn't be messing with me, and you know how I run this club. So he when they are set an eye on someone, I think it's going to be difficult. And but for me, I think it's much more feasible if I'm a Real Madrid fan or if I'm someone from a Real Madrid club. It's much better for me to wait another 6 months because he will come to me as free because Mbappe really likes to play with he really likes to play with Real Madrid. He said that it's dream to play with Real Madrid, and he's not signing any contracts right now. So I think all of this works in the favor.
But
Also, I
Ahmed,
think
but Ahmed, don't you think it's dumb to let a player who's worth 200 million, you let him go for free? I agree with Bilal, who is a Real Madrid fan.
look, I think the problem is that FSG they don't lack money. They have very good, huge funds, huge Qatari funds, huge Qatari millionaires funding them. So money is never the problem. But like I said, 200 million can also turn their eyes. And if the 200 million rumor is true, I think maybe they both of the clubs sporting director might sit and talk about it. But let's see, only one day left right now. I think 48 hours left in the transfer window. I think it's gonna be one hell of a transfer deadline day story if Killian can come in this window. But like I said, a
I,
feasible.
I, I think he's coming, Ahmed. I think the player wants to go, and the
Hmm,
insane amount of money they're throwing. So come on, bro.
let's see. But I think but he had a really good match against Rennes. He scored a couple of matches and he looked happy, kind of a happy. But let's see what happens. I think it's going to the void. I think really, and let's see what happens, Mohsen. Tick tock, tick tock.
Okay, Ahmed. So moving to SerieA, Ronaldo left and Juventus lost to Empoli. That's a shocker
Yeah, I think.
with Allegri
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I think Allegri, the players he have in his disposal, I think Allegri is trying to find out who to play where. I think he played Weston McKennie a bit higher. He didn't play him as number eight. He operated as number 10. But the midfield, I think Bentancur or Rabiot, not good enough for, I think wasn't good enough. I think the only player who had some kind of fire or who played a bit well was Chiesa in the first half. Other than that, I think Chesney, Danilo in the Danilo as a defensive midfielder doesn't work anymore. I think he doesn't work as a left back as well, right back as well. I don't know what kind of a player Danilo is, but he doesn't operate as a right back. He doesn't operate as a left back. So you shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't be playing. I think when Locatelli came after in the second half, he stabilized their midfield and they were creating some chances. Kulusevski came and Morata came. They were playing well. I think Allegri is trying to do something different with this team, but I think he should stick to his gun on playing the players on their preferred position instead of changing their formation and doing something new because I think it's gonna really harm them in the long run. And I'm saying this as an Inter fan, but still, I like to see a really competitive league. And Juventus losing, I think they will come back. I think it was just one of those matches where you try to do something different and it goes all wrong for you.
Well, Ahmed, the teams I've mentioned, they've all won. So brilliant performance by Lazio, especially Immobile. hat trick, his
Definite
19th hat trick.
hat trick. Yeah, first half hat trick. Even though he's missed a penalty, first half hat trick. A very competitive Lazio under Maurizio Sarri, which was quite surprised. I think his Sarri ball is really working. They're playing really well. And Inter, I think yeah, Joaquin Correa, but a signing he has been. He came from second half. He played only 15 minutes and scored a brace. Lautaro Martinez, I think in the first half, I think Inter was really pushed back by I think Hellas Verona's, and I think a really shambolic defending and a bad pass from Handanovic gave them a chance, and they scored from that chance. I think last season he also done this, so I think Handanovic really has to have to be really be careful because again these kind of mistake against a really good opposition, they can being a goal down really can they can suffer. So yeah, really good performance by the both Argentinians, and I think even Jacko had a good game. So good match as an Inter fan. I was a bit worried, but a good win. Milan also started their campaign really well. I think Oliver Giroud he scored a couple of scored a brace, and I think Sandro Tonali scored his first free kick goal. It was a shade of Pirlo, you might say, Mohsin. Mike Miang was also good. So overall, they played really well, Mohsin. In Milan, they had a good squad, and there was no Ibrahimovic, but I think Giroud really stepped up and they gave them the win. Also, Roma, I think Mourinho's Roma team, amazing. They played really well, Mohsin. Four goals and Jordan were too. He scored couple of he scored again two goals by Pellegrini, and Mohsen, you do check out the goals by Pellegrini, especially the second one he scored from a curler. Also the first goal by Tammy Ibrahim, really good one. So overall, really Mourinho is doing really well with this Roma side. They're playing really good
Ahmed,
counter-attacking football.
Ahmed, without bias, you follow SerieA. Which team has impressed you the most? Without any bias.
Roma right now because I didn't expect Mourinho to play such attacking football. I thought he might play something of a counter-attacking football, but they're playing really good attacking football, and they scored I think around in two matches they scored around seven goals, 7 to 8 goals. So Serie A is really scoring so many goals. They had I think around more than 30 to 40 goals in this match day, second match day. So definitely, I think Roma and Lazio, they per Sarri and Mourinho. So it's definitely if Allegri didn't find his mojo really quick, or his formation, or his players didn't gel up quickly, I think Juventus might be lost in the title race very soon.
Ahmed, very quickly, how have you been impressed by Simone Inzaghi doing good job from
Yeah,
where Conte left?
Yeah, definitely. I think the players are much more playing freely. They are not rigided by the system. They're playing freely. Playing free-flowing football, which we really enjoyed. I thought maybe we will suffer from it, but I think the link-up play between the strikers and the midfield has been really good. Defensively, I think Inter was really good because Bastoni and De Vrij and Skriniar has been brilliant for us for last 2 years, and the midfield play has been really good. So I'm really impressed by Canoglu as well. Many of the fans or the Inter fans were very skeptical about him, but he performed really well, and he played really well. He's linking up with the attacker. Also, Edin Dzeko, he is responsible for the assist. He also scored last season, sorry, last week. And like I said, Joaquin Correa just came from the bench, scored a brace in 15 minutes. So he won us the match. So definitely, I think Inter players are enjoying more under I think in Zaghi because he allowed them to play much more higher up the pitch and much more attacking football.
Well, Ahmed, when you mention Inzaghi, it reminds me of a legendary striker, and you know, I we didn't make the show. I was going to make a very bold claim that Haaland will help topple Bayern and win the league for Dortmund. Is it possible?
Like no, Mohsin. The problem with the Dortmund is that attacking wise they're really good. I think Haaland, Milan, and Royce and Gio Reyna, Jude Bellingham, all of them are really good. Even the new keeper they had Nuba, Kobel they had is a really good keeper. But the problem is defensively they have injuries to Hummels, and I think Axel Witsel is playing there. Also, I think Munir is not good enough right back for them. Also, I think like Paslak, all of these players in the defense, except for Akanji and Guerrero, the defensively they are very vulnerable. And like I said in last week against Hoffenheim, they conceded in 91 minutes, and it only took a really good goal by Haaland in 94 minutes for them to win this match. So definitely they are really lucky to have a really much more moderate UEFA Champions draw, because if any of them had a really tough match, I think they would not survive in UEFA. And also, I think, like I said, Bayern Munich, they are just uh, destroying teams right out and there. So it's very difficult because, and
And
also, like
and
I
they've
said,
they've again made a good transfer, Sabitzer to Bayern Munich
yes,
from Leipzig.
Sabitzer is going to from Leipzig to going there. Moriba is his replacement. So definitely, I think also Upamecano is playing really good. So it's very difficult, even because Leipzig they're also suffering. They are also suffering. They just keep losing their player. So it's for them to they have to rebuild every time. So they won't challenge. And also, I think they lost yesterday to Wolfsburg. So I think this season as well, I think Bayern gonna win this quite easily, quite convincingly. I think the only challenge Bayern Munich will have will be in their group stage in the UEFA Champions League. Other than that, I think they might lose couple of games, but I think the Bundesliga title is coming back to Allianz Arena
Oh,
this
okay.
time.
Well, Ahmed, last topic before we end the show. Messi made his debut for PSG. Finally, we get to
Yeah,
see him in a number 30, not in number 10. But I didn't see the game, unfortunately, but not on the score sheet. It's too early. I understand he's used to playing a tiki-taka, more passing, fluid passing game for club. But how do you how much time do you think he needs to settle?
I think him. Yeah, I saw the highlights and he was all right. He had couple of he created couple of chances, but I think they were not to use. Might need couple of chances because he's playing in a new setup. He's playing in some under a new manager and in a new team in a new league. So he has to adjust. Might take couple of 2 to 3 match day games for him to settle down. So for now, but Kylian Mbappe really won them the match. But like I said, PSG really brought him to win the UEFA Champions League, and I think once the Messi start the ground running, I think he gets on the score sheet and assist sheet as well. But for the debut, he was all right. I think he was just there to warm up his legs and take some photos for the Rennes goalkeeper. Other than that,
I
I
mean,
think nothing.
imagine losing at home in front of your crowd. The players don't care. They want to take photos with Messi.
Yeah, what you can say,
Ahmed,
Mohsin Messi.
Ahmed, can you imagine Liverpool losing to United? Mohamed Salah, Mane going to Ronaldo for pictures.
I think Liverpool fans all will run on the field and just start beating them up, or they just
Crazy man, crazy. So Ahmed,
they will.
thank you so much for your time. We've done it within the time frame, and Ahmed, promise our fans what is the next video going to be about, and we're going to make it possibly sometime this week.
Yeah, definitely. We have a couple of videos coming. One is I know it's a bit late, but it's a prediction video by me for all 5 leagues. I will gonna predict who gonna be in the top four and who will be in the relegation for all 5 leagues. I'm just putting my pen and paper and start working on it. So that might be coming in this week. Also, I think me and Mohsen will discuss the UEFA Champions League draws. We will try to predict who will go to the round of 32 and who will go to Europa Champions League. So definitely a couple of videos coming in, and hope so you get to see us make a good predictions.
Yeah, and definitely we'll also go and talk about the upcoming matches, probably during the international break, and maybe I might make a separate video with few guests or maybe a guest and talk about what me and Ahmed have discussed, but maybe in more detail to what their understanding is regarding the transfer window and the matches taking place, especially probably bring in a Manchester United fan and talk about the impact of Ronaldo moving to Manchester United again. So Ahmed, thank you so
Definitely.
much for that, guys. Watch, like, share, and
No.
subscribe. So take care, guys, and thank you for the comments from
Good,
all the people tuned in. Okay, thank
good,
you.
good, goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.